I did hire an assistant, and so I don't even look at my emails anymore. She handles all my emails, my calendar, and that just the emails alone has freed up so much of my time to just focus on getting things done. And then I'm going to be implementing AI into the business pretty heavily. I'm basically going to clone myself. I'm calling it Josh 2.0. I'm going to clone myself to where people can send me an email and AI will read the email and be able to take the orders, send them the invoice, get payment, process the order, and do everything that I can't do right now because I'm a bottleneck for the business. I've got so many orders and quotes I need to process. I can't do it all. It's very difficult to train a person to do this stuff because there's so many different things.
Welcome back to the Broke Millionaires, where we document our daily struggles in building wealth while raising a young family. Join us as we talk creative wealth building for everyday people and couples that are struggling in a down economy. I'm Lauryn.
And I'm Joshua Masari, and we'll be your hosts.
Well, here we are.
Our weekly, bi-weekly date night. Supposed to be weekly, but
We've been
our
falling off.
intentional time without the kids, without us falling asleep on the couch, pushing through, trying to stay awake.
It's getting harder and harder. Kids
Definitely.
are going to bed later and later. The excuses are getting longer and longer every night. Makes it really hard.
Yes, these kids, these darn kids.
We have, I feel like, a decent amount of updates from our last episode. We also unintentionally took a break. We had plans to record for your birthday last week.
Oh, yes, we did. Didn't work out.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
And
Made it another year.
made it another year.
Yes.
But that was one of those nights we were just exhausted and we were like, let's just do this tomorrow. And here we are almost a week later.
Tomorrow never came. It was
Tomorrow
late,
did not ever
late
come.
bedtime again, and we're exhausted. And
Weekend and
but we're almost done with our studio. I think this is going to be the last time we record at home. At least that's a goal that I'm going to make. I'm going to take the equipment and got kind of figured out. Got the chairs put together. Just need a couple pieces, but I'm going to take everything to the studio and force us to record our next one in the studio.
Yeah.
Everything will always be set up, and hopefully that will make things a little easier rather than stringing everything across the dining room like we have it right now.
One of these days we'll show a video of what our behind the scenes looks like because it's
We got the monitors up on the island. We got the high chair holding up the equipment.
we've got skip hops with equipment drawn all over it and baby car seats and all the things.
All the things.
What you don't see behind the scenes.
Yes.
We'll show you because we're no smoke and mirrors here.
Yes. That's
All about keeping it real.
good times.
Let's see. What are our updates? We're still broke. We're still barely somehow staying afloat.
Staying alive.
Staying alive.
Just hanging in there. Pushing.
Really
what was
hanging
the-
on, but
just
survive 25.
survive
was-
till 25. Or survive 25.
Survive 25.
Yeah, survive.
Thrive 26. Was that what you had said? Or
Sounds good.
I like it. I'm going for it.
Like it.
I cannot believe we're almost at the end of this year. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
2 more
This went
months.
by really fast.
They went by really, really fast. That happens when you have a baby. I think kids in general just make the years fly by, but we're coming up almost. Actually, when was our date of our very first recording? Was
November.
it November?
Yeah,
It
mid-November.
was. So
we're
we're coming up on that.
about 3 weeks away from our 1
It's
year.
wild.
Yeah.
We've been recording these for a year.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
Wow.
yeah, that's nuts. So yeah, so we took, we've been trying to do this weekly. It hasn't been real consistent. Apologies, but we are going to get back on a better schedule. We're going to have somebody watch the kids, and we're going to start doing these during the day so that we're not exhausted at the end of the day, so we can start getting more regular with these. We also had, you ended up in the hospital.
Yeah.
So that was another part of why it took so long to get back in. That was fun.
Just, yeah, we still don't really know exactly what that was, but our daughter had a stomach bug earlier in the week, and I got it on a Friday, and I was out. Like, you were single dad for 4 days for sure, while I was what felt like on my deathbed.
Lots of fun.
And I think it was stomach bug turned like the most awful migraine I've ever had because I was so dehydrated. And Yeah, I mean, I get migraines often, but I've never experienced anything like that. So ended up going to the emergency room Monday, got an IV, some sort of migraine cocktail situation that they gave me, and I was feeling great like a few hours later. So
They said you don't drink enough water, which is what I always say. Drink more water.
probably I am drinking my coconut water with electrolytes and some pineapple currently instead of my usual glass of wine, which sounds amazing, but
Nice.
no, we're doing electrolytes. Just trying to. It's hard. It's hard to hydrate. I try.
It's hard if you're not used to it. I get it. I get it. All right. So what's another update? What's something we're working on?
Let's see. We're still working on this back end, building our community, which we're really excited about. We don't have a launch date just yet.
Well, we have a tentative launch date.
Tentative.
So we're
we have
looking
a
at,
tentative.
we're looking at going live beginning of the year. We're probably going to start doing a pre-launch really soon. We're doing a lot of meetings, just kind of trying to get everything set up. This is just, we want to do this. If we're going to do this, we want to do this right. So this is going to be a community that's, like-minded people that are looking to build wealth. They're entrepreneurs. They've got young families. Not necessarily, we're only going to allow people with small families, but that's kind of like in the season of life that we're in. So I think that's
cater to the younger
I just think that people are going to relate to that. Yeah. And that's kind of like, we're going through all these struggles trying to build wealth while we're raising a young family. And so it's very difficult to do, but we want people to know that you can do it. And we want to have this community of these people that are kind of going through this together and can lift each other up and feed off each other and kind of encourage each other as we're going through this. Because, we've said this before, but a lot of people will put off, starting a business or put off building wealth until the kids are older because it's so difficult to do at this age. And then, it pushes them back 10 years before they start building, or tomorrow never comes and they just never they never take that step. So we want to just build this community around people that are wanting to do that can kind of help each other out, do deals together, some real estate deals, help each other out with businesses, partnerships, and just, really
just moral support too. I think
Yeah.
that's, been one of the biggest things. We started this podcast because we knew that there were other young couples or young families going through this. None that we knew personally though, but we knew there had to be others. And it can be a very isolating, different position that you put yourself in. And I think through this process, we have found that there are so many more people doing what we're doing and just wanting to have a safe place to connect and to talk through things and get ideas from each other, because we've been able to benefit from getting so many ideas from others as well, that we want to be able to continue to spread that and help people out. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be really well received. We're excited about it. People are excited about it. So information will be coming soon on that. And if you are listening to the show and you have not left us a review on Apple or Spotify, please, please, please take a few seconds to do that. It does not take very long. Give it a 5-star.
the rating is so quick. It's literally right there. Just
literally
hit the 5 stars.
Hit the rating and then just leave like a review. It can be a sentence, but it doesn't really matter what you say as much as just leaving a review. With the algorithms and people are leaving reviews, I mean, people are getting value out of the show. The show gets pushed out to more people, and it just helps more people hear about the show. And so
the simplest way that you can help. And we always have people asking how they can support us. So
and
that is the number one way.
We appreciate the support. It gives us the courage to keep going, and kind of the feedback and the motivation, and just kind of, it's rewarding for us to hear people that are getting something out of the show. So we are also on YouTube. We just, this last episode just launched on YouTube. So we are doing full length video on YouTube now. And those are also getting uploaded to Spotify. So you can watch or listen on Spotify now.
I did not realize so many people watch podcasts. I mean, I'm such a listener, but not
I am
a
too.
watcher.
But the last YouTube video got more views than our audio did. So apparently there's a lot of people that prefer that.
Just a quick disclaimer. The information shared on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Your individual circumstances may differ and require specific strategies not discussed here. Now, let's get back to the show.
All right. So what are we talking about tonight?
We're talking goals. So like we said, this episode was originally supposed to be recorded on your birthday, and we kind of talked through goals for the next year, and that didn't happen that time that we wanted to. This is, life with young kids, we pivot, but we're going to talk about some goals for the upcoming year, especially now that we're coming up on our 1 year of having the podcast, of recording. What are our goals for this coming year?
Well, I think we probably have some personal goals and we probably have
Mhm.
some shared goals, but a few things I want to talk about or kind of touch on are some of the things that you hear said out there that other people have said, and they may be controversial, but they're so true.
Yeah.
Um, and one of those that we hear a lot. There's a lot of people that say surrounding yourself with the right people, getting in the right room, getting in the room with the right people. You want to be around people that are where you want to go.
Mhm.
So you want to hang out with people that are more successful, whether it's in business or building wealth or, raising a family or whatever it is that you're aspiring, that you see successful for yourself. That's not always money. That can be really anything, but you want to get in the room with the right people. So you want to surround yourself with people that have gone where you want to go and they've been there. Just by
Right.
associating with those people and being around them, you're going to automatically, subconsciously start to associate and start to mimic and start to like envision yourself being there. And that's going to help you get there. For us, we have joined some masterminds. I've joined a coaching for the business, a coaching program with Dan Martell. So I'm making investments in myself and my business, for the podcast, and we've joined a mastermind on that. And so we're surrounding ourselves with people who have been successful in building a podcast and communities and online things, and have done really well in bringing people together
Mhm.
and bring those and gotten a good followings, and just really, some of these people that we have on this mastermind that are our guest speakers have built very, very large communities, very strong, tight knit communities that provide a lot of value for everybody. And so just hearing from these people is really, inspiring,
It is.
and seeing what they've done and drawing ideas from them that we never would have known had we not gotten
Yeah.
in the room with them.
I think that's the big thing is just it completely shifted our mindset on what we wanted to do once we started that mastermind, and just kind of some opportunities that we didn't really think about. And so it's exciting. It's kind of relit a fire under us, and excited to see what next year's going to bring.
Yeah, nah, it's exciting. So
Yeah.
I think, another thing is we've heard, I think Rich has said this on his podcast, but I think a few other people have also said it. They say if you're the smartest, whatever it is you're aspiring, if you're the smartest person in the room or your group of friends, if you're the smartest person or you're the wealthiest person or the most successful entrepreneur or whatever it may be, if you're everyone's looking to you, you're in the wrong room. Not saying that these are bad people or anything and that you shouldn't be friends with them, but if you want to aspire to improve yourself and get yourself to the next level, you need to surround yourself with those people that are at that next level. And you don't want to be the top dog, or you don't want to be on top. You really want to be learning from people, because then you're not growing.
Right.
If you're the one that's already gotten there, you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not expanding. So they always
See,
say,
and I'm a big believer in I have lots of circles of friends, and they all are, I have something like special with each of them. I think I'm at the point in my life where I only have friendships that build value in one capacity or another. And I think for a female, it's a little bit different.
well, I think females are more of an emotional
Yes.
circle, right? But
Yes.
again, it's what you're aspiring to be like. So there may
Right.
be people in that circle that are really, you know, emotionally intelligent, or whatever topic it is that you're feeding off of
Yeah.
and learning and growing in that area.
Yeah.
But you just, I mean, you hear people like, I had to get rid of my friends. And I'm not saying, like, we're not saying you need to get rid of your friends, but
Yeah.
there's people that have negative people in their life and they realize that they are bringing them down and they're not growing because these people are holding them back. So
Right.
there are people that will literally cut friends and family out of their life because it's so detrimental to their life and their growth. And so they make those. So I'm not saying like you need to get rid of your friends if you want to grow, but you need to realize and be aware, like if you're trying to get somewhere, you need to surround yourself with those people and find those circles. So it doesn't mean cut everybody else out of your life and only hang out with them, but they also,
those into your
you should be adding those into your life and in your circle. And they also say that you are the average or the sum of the 5 people you hang out with most. So the 5 people you spend the most time with and hang out with, that's
great.
who
That's
you
you
are.
and our 4 kids. So I guess I
A
got
bunch of toddlers.
I guess I've got one extreme to the next.
And I don't know if the toddlers are really what that's referring to, but just the 5 influences on your life, whatever those people are doing with their life and where they're going and what they're doing, that's kind of what you associate yourself subconsciously. It's not something that anybody does intentionally.
Right.
If you're hanging out,
there's so many books written about this and the psychology behind it. And it's very, very interesting.
I mean, if your 5 people that you hang out with are all really super successful entrepreneurs making, big companies or whatever, just by associating with them and hanging out with them all the time, you are going to become that 6th person that has a successful company. That's just kind of like the psychology behind it. And we see this over and over again. So it's a proven concept.
Yeah. Let's jump into, should we do shared goals or your goals first? I probably should have thought about mine a little bit more. I don't know. I might have you start.
Well, let's do our shared goals and then we can have some of our personal goals.
I like that.
All right. So I think a big shared goal for us for 2026 is this community that we want to launch. Like we're very, very, like we've been doing this podcast for a year now, and we really, really want to build a community around this because we've gotten so many people reaching out, people that we don't even know or that we didn't know were in similar situations with kids, and they've got a business trying to start investing in real estate and building wealth and doing that while having young ones at home. So these people reaching out to us that are in similar seasons in life has been like really, really just inspirational for us and motivating just to see that other people are getting value out of us talking about going through this. So I think that's been really rewarding for us, and just building a whole community around this where we can have a lot more feedback amongst everybody, where everybody's lifting everybody up. And I think that's going to be, and we're going to meet a lot more people, and bring a lot more people into our circle of influence, and just really build that something that's building everybody up. There's not something like that. There's a lot of these communities, a lot of masterminds. I feel like everything out there is mostly geared towards young men. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Like we've
starting to have more young women. Like I'm starting to see like our group is growing in that sense, but single, like unmarried, not moms for sure.
And there are some parents and stuff, but for the most part, they're young professionals.
Yeah.
They tend to be majority male, which is not a problem, but that I think that demographic tends to be a little more wealth conscious or aware of that.
Well,
you start having kids and then everything just goes out the window. So I get it. But the fact that we're still in it and still going through it and we're making these sacrifices. It's still possible, but
people
you've got to make sacrifices. And that's the thing, is like, it's very difficult. You got all these bills, you got diapers, you got school you got to pay for. At the same time, we're trying to do these real estate projects and trying to build wealth, knowing that this is going to pay off, but it is not an easy path. So I think having a good support circle of people, because before we started the podcast, we didn't really talk to about this stuff to anybody because we didn't have anybody else that was going through it. So
it's hard to find people who understand what it is we are going through, and it is a very niche type of situation that we've put ourselves in, I guess.
Yes. All right. What's another goal for us together?
I would say move.
Yeah. Well, so we're living in a very small house right now.
Yes.
1,300 square feet. Very small house for a family of 6.
Yes.
And we know it's temporary, but it's working for now. And
it is working for now.
We're grateful that we've had this to come to in the meantime, while we're getting the plans figured out for this next project. And we don't know where we're going to go. We'll probably end up renting somewhere that we want to be, a little more desirable area maybe, or a bigger house maybe.
I think I'm kind of in a phase where we had this plan of where we wanted to be, and now not second guessing it, but I'm not sure that that's with our kids growing. So I feel like I definitely think we should rent for a little bit and just kind of see, maybe test out some different neighborhoods and see kind
Yeah.
of where we want to be longer term. But my idea when we moved into this house was being here for a year. So hopefully we can be on track with that.
I didn't plan on being here that long, so
Well, I didn't want to. That was kind of my max. But
that's,
that
I guess
was
I didn't really have a max. I just didn't envision us being here that long. But I mean, we've only been here for a couple months, so we'll see what happens. We will see. So, all right. So another one.
You came to me with one last week and I kind of laughed at you initially,
Okay.
but you were very serious about it,
Which one is that?
about making 7 figures next year.
Yes, that is a goal. I know that's a pretty ostentatious goal.
What a comeback story that would be.
Go from literally making, actually, I think we're probably going to make negative this year with all the losses that we're incurring. My tax return is definitely going to be negative, but yeah, it's been a rough year, cash flow wise, income wise. The business is, I'm not drawing an income from the business right now. I've done some small owner distributions just to like pay a
Literally
few
bare
bills
minimum,
and
yeah.
food and diapers, like very, very little. Just trying to make sure that the business can survive. And it's been really tough. So to go from literally making $0 this year, I think your tax return is probably going to show zero. I really am going to do
I was
everything that I
thinking
can
let's
in
just
my
like get
power.
back on track, but when you came to me with that one, I was like, oh, that's a lofty one.
Well, hey, if we don't make it and we get halfway,
It's
we'll be a
true.
lot better than we are now.
That's very true.
But that is my goal. I want to generate 7 figures next year, between everything that we have going on. So we've got,
Which is a lot. I mean, we have a lot of
and it can turn really fast. I mean,
yeah.
and so I will preface this by saying I want this to be like more like actual based on monthly income, not equity from selling an asset. Like, for
Right.
example, if we sell one of our houses,
Yeah.
we'd have $1 million that would go against our income just that one year. And that's not what I'm looking at. So
income.
that would be additional if that does happen. But I'm looking at income from the business, income from our rental properties, income from our co-hosting business, which we've been growing. I mean, we've only been doing this for a few months and it's growing pretty quickly.
It's been really fun to have that grow. That would be a goal I would add too, is to continue to grow co-hosting business.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's something that we kind of have leaned pretty hard into. It's something that just kind of came out of,
really out of nowhere.
Yeah. We never planned on doing that. That kind of came about the beginning of the year. And we kind of started getting that set up. And then, a few months ago, we got our first few properties and now we've got
You're kind of the
quite a few
go-to guy
properties
now for
then,
this.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're still getting more people reaching out. So if we can continue to build that's going to be a nice little chunk right there. The printing business, I'm really, really striving to rebuild this. I'm getting.
You're rebranding it, I think.
Well, I'm kind of rebranding, kind of pivoting in the offerings and going more toward less commodity and more towards service-oriented product where I can build a little more value, get higher ticket sales, and have more profit. But I'm also restructuring the business because it's taking up so much time and not going anywhere. I've got so much going on. I can't really manage everything. So I did hire an assistant. And so I don't even look at my emails anymore. She handles all my emails, my calendar, and that just the emails alone has freed up so much of my time to just focus on getting things done. And then I'm going to be implementing AI into the business pretty heavily. I'm basically going to clone myself. I'm calling it Josh 2.0. I'm going to clone myself to where, people can send me an email and AI will read the email and be able to take the orders, get them a quote, process, send them the invoice, get payment, process the order, and do everything that I can't do right now because I'm a bottleneck for the business. I've got so many orders and quotes I need to process. I can't do it all. It's very difficult to train a person to do this stuff because there's so many different things.
Oh my gosh, how many times did I say, like, just have me help you? And what was your response every single time was?
I don't know. What was it?
You didn't remember?
No.
A, you didn't want to work with me in that capacity.
Ooh,
but
yes.
B, you're like, there's so much to train on that it's you didn't think it was worth it because it was more of like a short-term kind of Band-Aid, and it just didn't make sense for how much you had to train me on all the back end and like how many products. And it's a lot. It's very, very.
Well, it would create a full-time job for you, and then it doesn't really free up part-time. So at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't really accomplish a whole lot in trying to free up time to be with the family and do that. So, and it's very difficult to train somebody. I can train people, but they're slower at it than I am because I've been doing it for so long. So it's just natural. They make mistakes. There's just a lot of little things that.
Something you should know about Josh is that he moves quickly. And he doesn't usually make a lot of mistakes.
I make mistakes, but I don't make very many.
You do, but you're very much a perfectionist. And so no one does it as well as you, which is good. It's your business. That's how it should be, of course.
So the thing with AI is I can train it and program it once on how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about the person forgetting over and over again, having to retrain until they've got enough reps in, because they like every situation they may only do like once a month, but then they got to retrain on it, and it takes a lot longer because they got to
with an AI
figure out what they're supposed to do. But with AI, you tell it once and then it does it the same way every single time, and it does it instantly.
So crazy.
So I don't know how it's going to work in terms of how well it's going to work or how long it's going to take to get it programmed to operate and function
be efficient
properly.
And work like you.
But I think if it can at least take the first phase, we're looking at taking 30% of the order processing off my plate, and just 30%. That's all automated. Will make a huge dent in it, and then from there, we'll kind of like expand out and train other areas and kind of go out from there. But so I'm investing in the business to make it more efficient so that it can keep going, and then I can focus on building the business itself and some of this rebranding and pivoting that I'm doing. But that way, all the clients are getting taken care of. Because right now, I mean, honestly, they're not. If anybody's listening to the show right now that's a client of mine, I'm sorry. I have way too much to process as a single person to be able to handle. So Josh 2.0 is coming soon. We'll see how it works.
It's creepy how that video you showed me, it's wild.
What video?
The one of cloning yourself. Probably not the same AI. The actual clone of yourself.
Oh, that was a little something a little different. That was experimenting with videos. Like an AI video of me talking, and you would never know that it wasn't me talking.
It was so bizarre.
It's crazy. And you just type in the prompts and it just talks. I had a little trouble getting the voice. The voice wasn't quite set. So it needed some tuning, and I never finished it up because it was.
But it was so crazy how spot on the video was.
Yeah, like the expressions were a little different and everything, but if you didn't,
the mannerisms were.
If you didn't know me, if you didn't know me and you saw it, like you would think it's a real person.
Oh, for sure.
You wouldn't know.
There's it makes me question everything I see now.
Oh yeah,
that's a whole other topic. We'll have to go into at some point, but it's I can see the benefit of AI, but it freaks me out for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm more on board with some of it. I know
it's not happening. He wants a robot.
I want a robot.
Said no, hard pass.
I'm going to get one for the business, though.
It's fine. Do it for the business.
Do all the shipping, and all the manual labor. She doesn't want a robot for doing the laundry and dishes.
No, I'm so scared a robot will turn on us. Like,
it's possible, but if they're going to turn on us, they're going to turn on everybody, whether you have one or not. They're going to turn on everybody.
I'm not there yet. I am maybe down the road, and it'll be normal.
So in the meantime, as the dishes pile up and the dishwasher's overrun, because our kids literally go through 18 plates a piece and 18 forks a piece and 18 cups.
We have switched to paper plates and bowls, which has helped.
Huge like life hack. Like when you get to that point and your kids are just going through dishes, just get paper plates and paper bowls and plastic forks.
I had one of my mom friends dropped off during our meal train after we had Bo, and she dropped off paper plates, and I didn't really think too much of it, but then she told me a few days later, she was like, you got to get them. She also has 4 kids. And I was like, you got to get on board with paper plates. And I was like, what? No, that's so weird. Like, no way. We got paper plates the next time we went to Costco. It's probably not the healthiest. I don't even care right now.
Game changer.
I don't care.
Absolute game changer.
We're about to go plastic forks and knives and spoons and the whole thing just to eliminate the dishes because it is insane.
Yes. Absolutely.
Was it better, do you think, with the 2 dishwashers in the last house?
Well, it was easier because everything was in the
In the sink.
dishwashers, and so it was easier to keep them off the counter and out of
Yeah.
the sink. But
We were still
we were
doing
still going through way
every
too much stuff, and it was like crazy how much stuff they were going through. I'm like, how are you guys dirtying up 18 bowls a day when you only
because they grab another bowl for another sauce and they want their second round of dinner and they get a new bowl for it and it's insane. And then they like fight you and so it's not worth the fight.
Yeah,
So paper it is for now. I like
paper
that.
it is, and they've actually been pretty receptive to it. At first, they weren't. They didn't like it at first, but after a couple days, now they just know that's what they're getting.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And they just get to throw it away after. It's great.
Yeah. So
Nice little life hack.
I think another good goal for us together is um, having more family time. So
Yeah.
we're working a lot. It seems like we're working more and more and more, but we're building towards creating businesses that are going to run themselves and start generating more income to be able to free more time for us. So, for example, like doing the podcast, the more income we have, the more discretionary income we have to be able to hire somebody to watch the kids so we can go do this during the day and get that done. And then not have to worry about doing this at 10 o'clock at night and just have more one-on-one time together.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing, just, being able to do family functions and not have to do it between running errands for work and have to go back here and go back there and soccer games, me going to houses at 5 a.m. We did a day in the life of a few Saturdays ago, and I literally woke up at 5 o'clock and had to go to a property and get that one prepped and then go get 2 other ones ready and then go to soccer practice or soccer game and then go to another couple properties. And it was just a very, very busy day. And that's just kind of normal for us right now. But we're working towards.
We went from physically working on the houses, like the construction and getting that figured out. I thought we were going to get a break to then this aspect of it, which is better. It's not because this can be a little bit more on our own time. And it's not like a project that you're starting that you kind of have to get stuck into, but it is still
a lot of work and
still a lot of
requires
work.
attention,
Still,
requires
yeah,
us.
it's
Yeah.
still taking
So,
the time.
like with the co-hosting and all the properties that were the furnished rentals, like we're still like figuring out our operations and kind of figuring out our SOPs. So our standard operating procedures, like, how do we do our turnovers? How do we prep for them? How do we set these up? How are we handling guest check-ins and all that? And as we build all these procedures out, we're documenting everything, and we'll make it so that we can bring somebody on once we are making it enough to be able to do that. Then we can bring somebody on full time to do all the running around and do all the check-ins and do all the checking on the cleaners and making sure they did a good job and making sure properties are ready for the next check-in. So we'll be able to hand that off, the part that requires us to physically be there.
Right.
So we'll be able to hand that off. But right now we got to do it and figure it out and see what works. Because if we, I don't want to trust somebody else to do that because our name is on the line with these guests, and there's reviews and things that we got to maintain. So, so I think just having more family time, being able to do the soccer games in the morning, not have to worry about anything else, and then just having a free Saturday, which we still don't have. It's just nothing.
Sounds nice.
We can go on vacations, go on a week long family vacation. We can start doing, Europe trips again and with the family. And it's just something we can't do right now because we can't get away from our daily lives. Like, I've got an assistant now. I get this AI built into the business and it starts running. And then I'm working on building the business, not working in the business. So when I'm there, I'm just working on, marketing and sales and other aspects of building the actual business. And if I leave for a week, all the operations are handled and I can still,
that is such a game changer because that's never, we've never been able to take a full week vacation because we have to be so strategic about what day of the week we're leaving, when we're getting back to minimize the time away from work. And
it's stressful. It's stressful.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
The travel day is always very stressful. You're still working while we're on vacation. Like, it's not.
And it always gets super busy with all these rush orders and everything when I go on vacation. Like, we're at the airport and somebody's like,
no matter where we're going.
Like,
no matter where we're going, what we're doing every time.
Always.
Yeah. No, I like that goal. I think that's a really important one for sure.
What's another us goal?
I mean, I think for both of us, just getting back, and you've been better at it than I have, consistently working out would be
Mm.
one of mine for sure. Um, yeah, that's been
And it's taking me a while, with we got a 5 month old, is he 5 months now,
yeah,
5.5.
5 months.
It's tough, like waking up at this age, waking up 3 or 4 times in the middle of the
Yeah,
night,
he's
and
still
you know,
there.
we still have other kids that wake up for just no reason at all and just come to our room and they're,
Has got
whatever.
to stop.
But I've really been intentional, and to be honest, like Dan Martell is actually a lot of this is he's pushes breaking a sweat every morning and getting your heart rate up and working out and living a healthy lifestyle, and so that's been kind of an additional motivator to kind of push me over the edge, because it's something I've been wanting to do,
Mhm.
and with Bo sleeping a little more and waking up less often, I've been able to be getting in the gym. But Dan Martell, recording it, so I've been posting pictures of this, and it's kind of like keeping me,
Accountable.
accountable to actually do it and get out there and make sure I'm making it happen on a daily basis. And I have to get up early. It's not easy. Like, the kids start waking up at 6:37. They're supposed to stay in bed till 7, but they don't. But if I want to go to the gym, I got to wake up at 5 o'clock. I got to be, go to the gym and be back. I try to be back between 6:30 and 7. Usually it's closer to 7, but 7's when the kids are supposedly getting up and need to be fed and everything. So I've got to, if I want a good long workout, I've got to get up pretty early to go and do that. And it's not easy always, especially with a baby waking up 2 to 3 times a night.
Yeah. See, you're better at it with that type of workout. I had set a goal for myself recently about just waking up earlier because I was so tired of the kid getting woken up in the morning by the kids, and it just started my day off not in a good headspace. And so I've been making really good effort in waking up at least 30 minutes to an hour before they get up, like having time to drink my coffee, read the Bible, read my, a book for Bible study, whatever it is that I'm doing, but just having some quiet, intentional time. But now that I've been like good about aren't you impressed with how early I've been getting up? You haven't even said anything, but
I didn't want to jinx it. I don't want to be like, I don't want you to get
low key, I'm annoyed you haven't said good
okay,
job.
but I didn't want to be like, oh, it's like good job, and you're like, oh, yeah, and then you just like
Especially for
start
not
sleeping
leaving the
again. But
house.
I am actually very
No, even on Saturdays, like I'm still getting up every morning just because I feel like it gets me like in the right frame of mind before I'm like turning on to mom life. But I really enjoy Pilates, and it's been harder for me. We have not had the budget for that. And so trying to go to your office to work out with that kind of stuff is just not, it doesn't do it for me. And it's a lot harder mentally for me to get like excited and motivated about doing that than something
Yeah, I mean, I don't
that I like doing.
particularly like it either. I don't want to go to the office more, which is what I'm doing right now.
No, but
But
I mean, that's the kind of workout you do regardless. If you're
it's not, but it's
kind of like strength training, that's like
not. No,
you
but
go to the gym, that's not what you do.
no. I usually I usually do CrossFit when I go to the gym now, so it's like a totally different workout
Yeah.
now. So it's not my ideal workout I'm doing right now, but I'm just trying to stay consistent.
Well, you're being much better about staying motivated without your ideal work.
Yeah, but you're waking up. You're being intentional. You're waking up early. You're improving yourself. You're reading. You're doing things that you're not just sleeping in. You're making that extra effort to get up early. So that's important.
Yeah. Never thought I'd
Uh,
be an early morning person like that.
no, you're doing good. All right. So I think for me, like a personal goal on my side is that I really want to be intentional about being, you'll like this goal. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be more present for you guys, more present for the kids.
Well, now I'm going to cry. Didn't know that one was coming.
Well, and
Babe.
that's something I realize that I'm not always present, and I've got so much going on that my mind is pulled so many different directions that it's very difficult to, I try to set time aside every morning. So I 7 o'clock, whatever I'm doing, whether I'm working or working out or whatever, 7 o'clock is like family time, which is really like a war zone in our house. So
Oh my gosh.
from 7 o'clock
That's
to
insane.
8:30 when we drop the kids off, it's like absolutely insane, but it's family time. Like I don't I don't have my phone on me. I'm not like, I don't do my phone during that time. It's just family time. And then once I drop the kids off, I get back and then I kind of get back into work mode. And then same thing when I get off work, I get off work around 5. I usually get home about 5:30 to 5:45. And, it's family time. And, I usually will grab Bo and Isla, and the boys want to go outside and do laps, which is just running around the cul-de-sac with their scooters or running or doing whatever.
Yeah.
They call it laps. They just like to do laps around the cul-de-sac and basically get energy out. And so I'll take Bo and
Get energy out while I make dinner.
go sit on the front yard, on the front lawn, and just kind of hang out with them for 20 or 30 minutes while you're doing dinner. And then we do dinner together. And then dinner, bath time, bedtime is also a war
Then we
zone.
enter the other war zone.
It's like 2 battles a day, and I feel like we lose every single time.
Every time.
Fun stuff. But yeah, so that I think is a personal goal for me, is just to be able to, and a lot of this is, with the business, more money obviously helps that. Money fixes a lot of problems, but fixing the business to be more efficient and run itself, like, will free up more of my time, just my headspace, not just me being there, but I'm always thinking about things like, I got to do that order, I got to do this quote. But if I can remove that stuff from my taking up my headspace, I can be more present. And so I think that's definitely something that I really want to focus on for not just you, but you and the kids. And so that's probably one of my big ones for this year.
I appreciate that. I think you're an amazing husband, but I'll take more of you.
Okay. All right. Love you too.
I think that probably a joint one, I've said this too, but I really want to have actual date nights. We haven't really done that consistently since having kids. And I feel like as much as I love this time together, I still think it's important to have date nights away from work and things. And so,
and again, money fixes problems.
Yeah,
so
because we don't have money
date
for a
nights are
sitter.
expensive. When you got 4 kids, it's not just
Sitter's
like, let's just go to
expensive.
dinner. No, we need a babysitter that's willing to come and watch 4 kids. So,
Yeah, it's not even like I don't need to be going to Mastro's and like doing these fancy dinners, but it's the sitter that ends up being.
so you got to find someone that's available. We don't have a regular nanny, so find someone that's available at night, and a lot of, and that will do 4 kids, because not everybody's willing to do 4, and it costs a lot more for 4 kids than it does for 1 or 2. So, $100 dinner turns into a $300 or $400 night real quick, just because of childcare. You can't. I mean, it's not the 80s where you can just leave your kids at home and no one will say anything. You can't get
Never do that.
Yeah, I think it happens.
Not at 5.
Yeah, I think you might be surprised.
Oh man. Okay. I guess growing up in the later 80s made a big difference, but
yeah, maybe. I mean, when I was like 4, I would go play all day, and we lived out in the country, but I mean, I was miles. I'd be like half a mile away from home, like out of earshot, and down a trail, down a creek, up in a tree fort, and like I couldn't hear my mom yelling for
literally
dinners.
never let them that far away. I mean, we don't live anywhere where we could do that, but maybe if I don't know.
All right, so those are some of our goals. Anything else? Or I think those are pretty good goals. Some are a little loftier than others, but if we're shooting for the stars and we end up hitting the moon, at least we've made improvements.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, reviews.
Please give us reviews. Good reviews.
And the reason we're doing this, we're really trying to build out the following, build the podcast, build the show. We're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and those, we don't have a lot of reviews. We have way more listeners than we have reviews. So if you could just take a few seconds to review the show, if you find value, we'd appreciate it. Share it with a friend, let them know what you're getting out of it. And we would appreciate anybody reaching out. So if anybody has any questions about anything that you're going through, situational stuff with your wealth building or your business or a combination of that while trying to raise a family and trying to balance all that out, like reach out to us.
Yeah.
We love getting, comments. You can shoot us an email. It's in the show notes, or reach out to us on Instagram. But we like
I
hearing from
love
people.
I love when people start asking questions in the DMs. I think it's such a nice way to connect and just makes us feel like we're not just
And it gives us
talking to
good,
one another.
yeah, and it
That
gives us
people are
good,
actually
like,
listening and
some
curious.
like content or some questions to answer during the show too that other people might be able to get value out of as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we got the studio that this was our last at home recording. We'll be in the studio moving forward. Hopefully. Yes, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. But we have a lot of like super, super cool guests coming on too that we've already got booked and lined up. We're gonna have some really fun guests that we're gonna be bringing in live into the studio. We'll still be doing like virtual interviews for people out of state, but we're really gonna start doing these in person studio interviews. They're so much more fun for us and more engaging with the guests. But we're gonna start doing those. We're really excited now that we've got a studio. They don't have to come into our
actually host people.
yeah. So that'll be fun. So we've got lots of good stuff coming your way.
Yes.
Anything else? Any last words? Any last words from the home studio? Final recording?
I'm just like literally looking at this home studio. I'm so excited to not record here anymore.
It takes me like an hour and a half to set this up.
So this is why we can't stay consistent, because it's such a process. I was like trying to do James Bond, like going over all the chords to like get a blanket, and it's so difficult.
Yeah.
We do not do anything the easy way.
It would be too. It would be fun that way. All right. Calling it a night. It's actually not that late. We got
This
a little
is probably
early.
the earliest we've started and finished.
I know. I don't even know what time it is, but we're 10 o'clock. We usually don't even start till 10, so we're getting a little more. We just threw the kids in bed. We're like,
go to bed.
Go the heck to sleep.
Please.
Like we're not doing, because we've been trying to do this for a week now, and we get so tired when they go to bed at 8:30 or 9. So, all right, we got it done. That's a wrap. Let's call it a night. So,
all right,
guys, get out there and make it happen.
Thanks for listening. This has been a production of Rebuilding the Dream Studios.